What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Miss O, and I know that I have been away for a while. And by my calculation, y'all are missing about 4 episodes from me when it comes to the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So, with that being said, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let somebody know I'm over here doing reviews. So, as I stated, I have been away. Life has been lifing. Myself and my partner, both of our cars went down within a 3 week period with the same exact issue, which was our transmission. So, with us having 3 children in the household, both of us having full time jobs, 2 full time jobs, it was a must that we take care of business and find us another car. But with that being said, we got another car. We're working on a cash car, and everything's going to get back to normal. But we are going to start with episode 8. And I must say, Nosey Rosie did her thing. Also, I'm going to do something just a tad bit different with you guys today because I haven't been on screen in a very long time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop on screen for you guys. So, hello, people. But I got my notes right here. We're going to go through episode 8 really quick, or as quick as I can get through. So, we start the episode off with Alicia and Billy. And we find out that Alicia has a brand new car with like 2,000 miles on there because she does not like to drive. Billy is looking for a little bit more assistance. So he wants Alicia to take on the responsibility of transporting their daughter. I think it was to dance class or gymnastic class or school. Either way, he wanted her to help more out with making sure Chloe get to where she needs to get to. And you got a brand new car with 2,000 miles. Let's put some miles on this car. You can sell it to me. Anyway, so Alicia lets us know that she has an anxiety care package, and that consists of her cheese and her crackers, her rose water, peppermint oil, some chewing gum, all the things that she feels that she needs to keep sane while driving if she needs to. So during the trip, during the trip on their way to Rula's house, because I think that's where they're traveling to, um, they discuss the trip. And Alicia goes on to tell Billy about how Liz made her feel when she was speaking to the ladies about being homeless as a child. And she also tells him about the video that she saw with Cheater B and his mistress. And I want to see the video. Is it just me? Am I being messy? But I would like. Billy inquires about the video, and Alicia lets him know, look, it's timestamp. This is real. This is real. At some point, I think in the conversation with the ladies when they were back in Newport, Joanna may have asked Alicia to tell Rula the news because they appear to be the closest within the group. I'm assuming, but Alicia does not want to be the bearer of bad news. Alicia doesn't want any part of it. She expressed to Billy that she don't want any part of it, and Billy gave her some good advice because he just basically told her, "Do what you think is best for you." You know what I'm saying? So we move on to Rosie and Rick, and I must say, I like these two as a couple. I really do. And so they're walking exercise. She got on them little moon boots that she did had the first or second episode when we met her through Alicia. They also go on and they talk about the trip and what happened. And Rosie begins to pillow talk with her husband and tells him about what happened between her and Kelsey. And she did indicate that they have decided to move on with whatever they had going on. But before she told him that, she lets him know, yeah, Kelsey has moved out of that big ass house that she living in, and now she's living in her apartment. But the apartment that she's living in is being paid by the ex-boyfriend while she's with the current boyfriend. Some messy shit like that. I'm paraphrasing you guys. But yeah, that's what she told her husband. And so Rich begins to say, well, the last time I heard y'all got into it. So she lets him know, we decided to move forward. And Rosie is really confused because she doesn't really understand why Kelsey is coming for her. And Rosie, Kelsey is coming for you because you have everything that Kelsey is desiring. A man that desires to want to be with her, a home that's actually hers. The things that you have, those are the things that Miss Kelsey is desiring. And that's just how it's coming across. But anyway, we all have a clear understanding that Kelsey is projecting on Rosie. And, because Kelsey doesn't have a house, she doesn't have a career, and she don't got nothing. So, yes, she's definitely projecting. So, this is why I like Rich. And this is why I like them as a couple. And it's because he listens, he provides context solutions, but he here for the shit. So basically, he said, maybe y'all can do something and get together. And I'm paraphrasing, to kind of see if y'all can really be on the same page. And Rosie lets him know, well, she's going to come by and cut my hair, and I'm going to post her this time. And Rich said, well, if that doesn't work and she bring it back up, give her hell. I'm with you, Rich. Because at this point, we are 8 episodes in, and we're really trying to understand what's the real reason for Kelsey's dislike for Rosie. Rosie be talking shit. Rosie is nosy. Rosie is messy. But we still, and the audience, we still do not have a clear understanding on what Kelsey's issue is with Rosie. So be like Craig David and fill us in, please. So we move on, and we move on to Kelsey, and she's at her new apartment. And Kelsey's mom and her sister are there to help Kelsey unload. And her mom and them just get straight to the point, ask the questions that the audience is thinking. And how are you paying for this? Kelsey goes on, and I say Kelsey is confused and conflicted because you want a relationship with somebody that is going to give you kids or go on to the next level, but the type of lifestyle that your ex-boyfriend used to provide for you, you have become accustomed to because this has been a 10-year relationship, right? But then you get with a guy that really is digging you, but he can never provide the things that your ex did. So what are we doing here, Kelsey? Why are you stringing this guy along? Because deep down in your heart, you don't want Billy. And you need to stop playing with this man's emotions. Mom wants to know who's paying. Says the ex-boyfriend is paying. Mom said, "Don't you want to be financially stable on your own?" Kelsey doesn't know. Kelsey, you coming off like a high paid escort. Moving along. We get to Crybaby Spice, aka Ashley. We do find out that her son is all right. I got disinterested, um, as giving you the real tea would do. Moving along. Okay, so we get into Joe Ellen. And Joe Ellen, her sister Jen, and her mom, they all go over to Granddad's old home and reminisce. They talk about all of the memories that they shared in there. And then they go outside and they get straight to the point. Joe Ellen wants to confront her mother. She wants to know why her mother wasn't nurturing. She wanted to know why what she did that was so wrong that deserved to be sent to these facilities for months at a time. I could not imagine. I'm a mom of three. The oldest one is a junior in high school. So you know that age bracket. He is giving us HE double hockey sticks, me and his father, and there's nothing that is going to do that's going to make me want to send him somewhere else to be disciplined, whether I had the money or not. Anywho, you know, Joellen really wants this resolved with her mother because she really has a disdain for her. She blames her mom for the reason that she is with other women. And ladies, this is a prime example when you have resentment for your mother and you can't have successful relationship with other women because you don't know how to do that because you wasn't taught by the one person that should have taught you that. Also, Joellen, I know how you may feel about that. I do have my makeup, I have my bio parents, and then I have my parents. My parents, my dad, my pops is actually my bio dad's older brother and his wife. And then you have my bio dad and my mom. And I can go to my bio mom and talk to her about something, and she would give me the same line she's been giving me for almost 38 years, which is I'm KR and I've been this way and I ain't gonna change. But if I go and have the same conversation and express my feelings to my mom over here with my parents and express to her, she will listen to me. And if she heard what I said, understood how that made me feel, she would take accountability for the part she played in which made me feel that way. And I'm so appreciative of having the understanding of two worlds. I'm not gonna lie. It's been frustrating my whole life, but now that I'm an adult and I have my own children, I have my own family, I'm definitely appreciative of having the two ends of the spectrum so that I'm gonna end up a happy medium. Moving along. During that conversation, Jen, not Jen, but the mom, I can't remember her name. The mom tells Jen and Joellen a story about a time something happened to her. She had an injury to her eye, and her mom, and she had to get stitches in this eye, and her mom only concern was her floors. So you see that there is a generational misunderstanding on how to be nurturing when with the ladies in that family. And that's disheartening, but it appears that Joe Ellen is trying to break the cycle. Her sister co-signs on that. And what I would say, Joella, as a woman who participate in therapy, who is an advocate for therapy, continue your therapy for you. And that will help develop what you need to provide for your children. You know, some people are just going to be the person that they are, and you can't change them, and you just have to accept and set boundaries. And that's just that. I do respect the fact that Joe Ellen did speak to her mom and let her know, look, you played favorites when it came to me and my sister. And when I see things like that as a product of somebody playing favorites, me and it's three of us, me and the middle girl, we have the same mother and the same father. But me and the middle girl and our youngest sister have same mother, different fathers. And I definitely saw the difference in how us two were treated compared to my younger sister. And it's so disheartening as a parent now. Um, having children, but all of my children are with the same person, no outside children, and none of those things. So that's the difference on that end. But I couldn't see myself treating anything that came out of my body differently. Now y'all might work on their nerve differently, but treating them differently, no, I couldn't see that. But Joellen tells her mom, look, the way that the person that you are is who we became. And I don't like that because I'm a bitch to everybody that I come across. And it sucks being that way. But I'm a product of, I'm a product of that because of you. And I need you to take some accountability for that. That's basically what she was. So we wrap that scene up and we pull up to Liz's lab where her and D-Lo, as I call her, but look, Dolores, they sit and they have a conversation while they're testing a gummy product that she's created for women dealing with menopause. And I haven't reached that stage yet, but when I do, I hope these is on the market because y'all look like y'all were having a good time. And if I can feel like how y'all were looking while experiencing menopause, I need some of that. Moving along, they have a conversation where Liz is just telling D-Lo the Stilo on what was going on in Newport and how her and Alicia is just in this funky place. Liz, as we go on further in the episodes, I'm gonna need you to take some accountability, man. You know, yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. Moving along, we get to Rula's home. And Rula and Cheater B, that is what I've called her husband. Brian, his name is Cheater B, coined by Ms. O said what. Anyways, Rula and Cheater B are hosting Alicia and Billy as they have dinner. Now I must say that this is how a housewife hosts a dinner. We got a private chef. We got monogram coasters. You know, Rulala did the damn thing. The centerpieces were looking beautiful. This is how housewives host dinners, people. Excuse me. Excuse me, allergies are on 10. So you might get a couple of more sneezes from me. But anyway, Alicia and Billy arrives, and soon as Rulala opens the door, Alicia chickens out. She wants no part of telling Rulala about Cheater B in these videos. And I think if she would have brought it up, Rula would have had an excuse ready on hand for whatever the ladies bring to her, anyways. So, yeah, whatever. So they give us a little flash with a picture of Rulala being in the hospital in Sweden. Me and my hubby were sitting here watching what was the movie? Warcraft, where they were sucking the souls out of the prisoners. This looks like what is happening, Rula. You need to really evaluate what is taking place here. And you know how they always say the camera adds 10 pounds? In your case, I hope that's true because you just look really, really sick. You look unwell. And it's because you're stressing over cheater B, and you shouldn't. Moving along. So they sit down, and the chef begins to ask the dinner party how they would like their food prepared. And Cheater B is, on the Get Live juice, and he has turned into a chatty patty. This man begins to tell us that he does a little bit of Botox, he microdoses on Ozempic, he even do a little bit of steroids. And Rula is just like, if this man do not shut the up, and I'm with you, Rula. Like, take the liquor from Brian because liquor makes him talk, and everything is just gonna come out. You better be careful. So, did anyone peep how Brian asked Rulala could he be dismissed like he's at Sunday dinner and an 11-year-old that wants to leave the table? Also, that man phones ring, and while it rings, he says that he needs to go to the restroom and comes back like in 60 seconds. And in Alicia's confessional, she was trying to find some kind of excuse, and then she said, "Look, I'm just giving this man too much credit." Yeah, the same kind of credit that Rulala is trying to give him, but he ain't making you look like a fool. He making her look like a fool. Anyways, Alicia checked it out. She wants no parts of telling Rulala. And then, did anybody think it was kind of weird that Cheetah B was telling us that he was a part of the creep squad over here in Rhode Island? And if anybody watch Living Hip Hop New York, y'all know who the creep squad is. This man begins to tell us that, some little crazy ass story about how him and Rula, when they first met, he was getting her drinks and having the bartender double it up, and he was drinking a single while she was trying to get this lady drunk. That's a little weird, Cheater B. Weird. Moving along. So the part that we all been waiting on, the Kelsey and Rosie showdown. And Kelsey's on her way over to Rosie. And while she's on her way over to Rosie, she calls her only boyfriend, okay, y'all, and tells him what she has up her sleeve. And she basically says, I'm going to bust her balls. Now, when she said, I'm going to bust her balls, I thought she was going to get to that lady home and, bust her balls, in the inside. But no. While Kelsey is on the phone with her boyfriend telling him what she's going to do, Rosie is calling Rich and preparing him that she's actually getting ready to meet up with this lady. Definitely a bad idea because now this lady know where you stay at. Anyways, Kelsey decides to pull up in this lady neighborhood where she lives in a community that's a HOA. If you live in a HOA, you know how that is. Moving along, this lady pulls up to this lady block with a blowhorn loudspeaker in her car and begins to holler. house police with a fucking siren on there. And I must say, Rosie better than me, because I would have definitely made an excuse up on hand and told her to leave her bag because Rich was getting ready to pull up and he would get it out the car for her so that she wouldn't have nothing in my home. But I don't even think I would have allowed that in my house. But since you want to play these games, that was weird. Like Rosie said, that was weird. As they went up the stairs, you want to play semantics? Here we go. Here go the blueprint. Here go the measuring tape. Do your job. Since you care so much about how big my house is and all of these things, here you go. Be my guest. Go measure. No, seriously. Go fucking measure. Because what you pulled was some bullshit. So here go Kelsey being the victim. Oh, you're being aggressive. It was a joke. First of all, don't call me aggressive. When you pulled up to my house on a loudspeaker talking about fucking house police and blaring the siren. Secondly, you've been coming for me about how big my house is and you don't even have a house. At least my name is on the deed, bitch. You got your ex-boyfriend paying the full apartment that your new boyfriend in. Like, I would have went all the way in on Kelsey, but the job that Rosie did, 5 stars, because you went in. That lady been projecting. She's mad she doesn't have a career. She mad she doesn't have a home. Shit, she mad that she doesn't even have a husband. All 3 things that Rosie has. So you're just looking like a hater. And I'm glad that Rosie did this, actually. Kelsey is also wondering, like the rest of us is, what has Rosie actually done to Kelsey? Because she brought up a conversation about you being in a relationship with 2 people, so you poly. Is that really the real reason? And I'm with Rosie. Like, what is it? That can't be it. What is it? Please explain to us. But Rosie wanted Kelsey up out of her house. They going back and forth. And if y'all were paying attention, Kelsey was the one that got physical first. She was the one that got physical first. And Rosie responded. She picked them damn bags up and tossed them out her house like she was a butler at somebody's mansion. Get the stepping. And she also called Kelsey out to her you know, her claim to fame. Your boyfriend paid for you to win Rhode Island. And Miss Rhode Island. And I actually think that may be true. And the reason why I say this is because that lady got kicked out of her house, walked off, instead of just eating it while Rosie is marching upstairs to her sitting area. She comes back and said, I actually won that fair and square. I'm paraphrasing. Girl, that lady ate your ass alive, and that's that. So I wanted to know, am I the only one curious to what the hell a slam pig is? If it's somebody from Rhode Island that can explain that to me, or anybody who actually knows what a slam pig is can explain it to me, I would greatly appreciate that if you drop that down in the comments. But that was the end of the episode. I was here for the episode. I'm going to give the episode a 8. Initially, I was going to give it like a 6. But the way Rosie turned up on Kelsey, I've been waiting on that. So I'm going to give it a solid 8. And I'm ready to see what episode 9 gives. So I'll be back with that very soon. As promised, we are back and we pick up episode 9 with the Rosie and Kelsey aftermath. So Kelsey get in her car, she calls Liz and she gives her bullshit account of what actually happened. And Liz couldn't believe it. She like, oh my God, what happened? Kelsey likes to be the victim and she likes to be right about things, but she does a horrible job with telling a story. Kelsey starts at the point when Rosie spazzes out on her, but neglected to tell Liz what she did to make Rosie spaz out on her. And Liz is acting flabbergasted on what Rosie has reportedly said to Kelsey. Now, Kelsey didn't go in and tell Liz that she pulled up to her house with a blowhorn talking about house police, house police. But whatever. Um, then you can tell the comment of Rosie calling her a slam pig and a whore. I added that because she was like, I only slept with 6 men. Ma'am, it doesn't matter. You're trying to compare apples to oranges because then you go in and tell us that Rosie slept with 2 men, a married man and a basketball coach, and the basketball coach paid her off because he didn't want that to get out. But you telling the business and you ain't get paid. Yeah, Kelsey, you pretty, but you full of shit. That's how I feel about that. Girl, bye. So we wrap that scene up and we go to Ashley and her man Jared. They're at the restaurant depot. They are getting things, getting prepared for this trivia night. And while they are there, Ashley lets her husband know that she invited all the ladies. And in the midst of that happening, Rosie call. Now, what it appears is that all of this stuff is being filmed on the same day, and you will see what I mean as we get on in the episode. But Rosie called Ashley, fills Ashley in on what took place, and Ashley feels caught in the middle because she like, well, I'm having trivia night. I invited all the ladies, and then Rosie gives some old BS ultimatum and tells her, well, if Kelsey's coming, I'm not coming. And I was with Jared. Your real friend wouldn't put you in that position. But I would have just told her, I extended the invite to all the ladies, and whoever shows up, shows up. I'm not in control of that. You are, because I extended the invite and you have the choice to come or not. Let me check my notes. Then we get to this fake bullshit scene on the beach with Rulala and Alicia. Are you kidding me? We we're gonna act like Rulala went on the phone with that lady that pulled up, that just random lady that just mysteriously popped up while Alicia and Rulala is on the beach having a conversation. So apparently this neighbor of Joellen who has a problem with her named Amanda just popped up so Rulala can ask her, hey, have you talked to Joellen? No, I haven't talked to her in over a year. Oh, so you got a problem with her too? See, Joellen's the problem. Rula, get that bullshit up out of here. So Rulala basically met up with Alicia so Alicia could be the person to express when asked why Rula isn't here. So Rulala tells Alicia, hey, it's a lot of drama that's been going on. I don't want to be around this, so I'm not coming to trivia night. Are you going to film with someone other than Liz and Alicia? Because, I mean, are you a friend of? Are you a main cast member? I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. Anywho, Alicia is talking to Rulala. She still holds this information in that she had seen this video. Rula does not know. Alicia doesn't have the heart to tell her, and they go on to have this conversation about what Rulala is choosing and Alicia's contradicting herself because she's trying to compare her situation when she was a child to the situation that's going on with Cheetah Bear and Rula. And these are two different things. You know, your mom was not financially stable to take care of y'all. And that's why you are saying that you guys were homeless. And that's not the same for Rula. Rula is financially stable. She is able to take care of her and her kids, and they will be all right, like Beyonce said. So those are two separate things. But then Rula flips this on her and says, "You need to get your shit together. We need to be having a conversation on how you can get yourself financially stable, being in this relationship with Bill. And because you come up with some of these things, you should get a stake. So let's have a conversation on what we need to do. You need to create a business plan, go to Bill, and present it." We wrap that scene up and we go on a triple date. We got Joellen and Gary, Liz and Gary, and we have Kelsey and her only boyfriend, Bill. These guys all arrive. They are getting their pleasantries out the way and they go into conversation. Joelle and Messy ass wanted to know, "Kelsey, what happened?" Kelsey said, "What you know?" Joellen proceeds to tell us that Rosie called her. Now y'all clock that. Rosie called her, and it sounded like Rosie gave her the real spill on what actually happened. Kelsey put up to my house with a blowhorn, talking about house police. I felt disrespected, and it's FWB. So Liz is questioning, like we are questioning. Why Rosie calling you? I thought y'all was beefing. I thought y'all ain't fuck with each other. You know what's going on there? What's going on there? So Kelsey begins to give her spiel. And let me go back. After we find out that Liz is shocked in Liz's confessional, she says that Joe Ellen is like a little banana peel because she slip and slide and you don't know what you're gonna get into. And a producer asks Liz, does she think Joella plays both sides? And Liz straight up said, "Yes, I think she plays both sides." And these edits are not doing, justice, Miss Joella. It's looking like you're playing both sides. Uh, After that, Liz wanted to know what Rosie said, and Joellen proceeds to tell the ladies what Miss Rosie has said. Now, I put in my notes, Joellen, while you playing telephone, I hope you're delivering the message correctly because at this reunion, they coming for you. They coming for you. And I hope that you are ready. Not binder ready, Potomac ready, but I hope you're ready. I really hope you're ready to defend yourself because you're really looking messy out here. Anyways, so Kelsey delivers her side, made sure that everyone knew that Rosie called her a dick sucking bitch. And I think she kind of proud of that because she say she not, but then we get a little jokey joke a little later. We get off that topic and we move on to another topic, a topic that was dumb and embarrassing as hell to have on a triple date. But Kelsey asks the group, "Do you guys think it's bad or do you think it's normal if you break up with someone that you've been with for an extended period of time for them to still pay for things?" And I put in my notes, everybody at that table is full of shit. Now, Joellen didn't really chime in too much when asked this question. Liz said it's fine, it's completely fine. Now, her husband Gary said, "I was living with Liz, and her ex boyfriend was shoving money underneath the door." Okay. Kelsey co-signs with that. Yeah, I remember you telling me that bullshit. So then Gary, Joella's husband, asks, does he ask for anything in return? And this is where I think Kelsey showed her true colors because you tried to make it as a joke and you look dumb as hell because your reply was confident when said. You said, yeah, I gotta go back to his house and blow him once a week. Gary Liz's husband was like, what? Gary Joella's husband was like, what? Oh my God. And looks at Bill, and Bill is sitting there looking with a dumbass look on his face, with his mind saying, I can't believe this said that. I knew it, and you cannot convince me otherwise. All of their faces had the same response, a different reaction. Because those men could not believe you said it. And then you wanted to lighten the mood up by laughing and say, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, you're not. And Bill don't think you're joking either. That man think you've been selling yourself. Anyways, he don't like that your ex is paying for stuff. And we know that because Joellen asks him. Joellen asks Bill how he feels about that, which his feelings are important as well. And I think he's right. If you're gonna be with me, I don't think that he should be paying for anything. But Bill, you have to understand that you cannot provide the lifestyle that Kelsey wants. So you are going to have to put yourself in a position to be okay with not having this pretty girl on your arm because you're not going to be able to do the things that her ex has done for her, and she's accustomed to what her ex has done for her. So you don't want to be the little chew toy that she come and find underneath the couch when she gets bored or when no one's playing with her. I hope y'all figure it out. So we move on to another topic of conversation, which is Alicia. Liz says she has a soft spot for Alicia. She was there and she was never homeless. So apparently, Rhode Island is fucking small because Gary Joella husband's mother, Liz's sister, and Alicia's mother were all best friends at some point in life. Oh my God. I mean, it's just a small world. But Joellen say, hey Gary, remember when I came home and I asked you about Joellen being homeless? And Gary was like, yeah, I don't know that to be true. I'm pretty familiar with her life, and that is not true. And what I need everybody to understand with this Alicia being homeless thing is she's entitled to her feelings. She lived that life, and the only motherfucker that needed to be co-signing was her mama, and her mama co-signed. Her mama herself said they were couch surfing. They did not have a home of their own. They were not physically homeless, as in they had somewhere to sleep, but they didn't have their own. So they consider that homeless. That's it. That's all. Liz, get the fuck on. Gary, you might be familiar with them, but you went in their household. Get the fuck on. Why are y'all so gun ho on making sure Liz's family don't look bad? Her mama said they were homeless. Alicia said they were homeless. They were homeless. That's it. I'm done talking about it because they said they was homeless. Anyways, we move on to Audrey's for trivia night. As they prepare for the venue, Ashley feels Jared didn't know who's coming. Jared said, look, this ain't the place, the time of the place. They come up in here fighting. everybody going home because we don't do that here. I'm with Jared. With Jared, you also don't know housewives. This ain't the bachelor. Rosie arrives. Ashley is complimenting her. Rosie knows something is up. What's the news? Ashley said, I couldn't do it. I could not disinvite Kelsey. So Kelsey may or may not arrive. Liz get there, and Liz is an addict. She is a functioning alcoholic. Every scene that she is in, she is asking for gin. We might need to check on that, okay? That's not looking too good, honey. Ashley tell the ladies that are there that she knows that Rulala isn't coming, so it does not fall on Alicia. Joellen does her poking and prodding. She asks Rosie how she was feeling, what took place. Rosie began to express that she felt disrespected, and Liz come in like she's boss hog and asks Rosie, "Well, do you think you was trying to zing her back and show her something?" Like, yeah, cause she keep coming for me. And as Rosie is trying to explain herself, Liz is over talking her, and I kind of felt Joella like, "Shut up! You asked her a question, and she's trying to give you an answer, and you won't shut up. You're over talking her because you are biased to Kelsey, and that's okay. You can say that. You can feel that way. You're entitled to your feelings." So I'm gonna get through this because I'm tired and I'm ready to lay down. Anywho, all the ladies get there. Slam Pig herself get there. Rosie does not have time for it. The ladies are trying to get the 411. And the biggest question in the room is asking, why was Rosie comfortable with calling Joellen? And Rosie like, because we cool. And Joellen like, because I send memes. No, you're two-faced. You want to know everybody's business so you can one up on somebody. There we go. They get into it. Ashley has a massive meltdown and her husband can't handle it, so he tells her to go to the office. Rosie disengaged and she leaves, as I would too. And then we move along. We move along to the next scene in this Alicia and Bill. She puts together this kid like science project and she presents it to Bill. Hey, she has something to present. That's all that matters. And the ideas that she presented to Bill, he actually thought was a good idea. The uniform was a good idea. The mama notes was a good idea. So he does feel like she deserves to be compensated. That's good to know, Bill. We want to think highly of you. We know why y'all not married. That falls on Alicia. So we want to look highly on you. They sit there and Alicia begins to write her imaginary contract. We move on from that scene and we get to the next scene, which is Ashley. Ashley's in her room. Rosie calls and she wanted to apologize for the scene. And Ashley was really like, that was a lie. I really, at my place of business, it was a lie. Rosie apologizes and then she extended an invite to one of her husband's events. In that call, we also find out that Rosie did not invite Kelsey. I do not blame her. After what happened at trivia night, she can avoid that. So good. We get the backstory about Rosie and her husband Rich. They met at a news station or a radio station. I couldn't remember which one. She was one of his groupies in one of his videos, and they have been in love ever since. Um, So Alicia, Joe, Ellen, and Liz, they ride together. Joe Ellen show up with this large ass charcuterie board. I couldn't even believe the driver let her go in the car with that thing open like that. But anyway, they are riding, and Alicia Alicia begins to speak on her having a conversation with her mom about the homeless comment, and Liz is pissed off, and it's like, "Why are you pissed off? You brought it up. You said I wasn't homeless. I'm having a conversation with my mom, and my mom said I was homeless." So they going back and forth, and it's really getting heated. And what I'm trying to understand is, Liz, why are you so protective over a family that's not yours technically by blood? And you're trying to fight with someone who is blood related, which is Alicia. Like, it's not making any sense. I don't understand. And I'm doing that right. They switch seats because things are getting heated. And Alicia calls Liz a snake. And I'm actually gonna have to agree with Alicia. You have snake like behavior, and it's unnecessary. I just don't understand what's going on. At the end of the day, Alicia mom agreed that they were homeless, and that's just it. I don't know why you are trying to prove this point. I just don't get it. And I'm actually glad that Liz stood up for herself. So Alicia gets really upset, and this actually makes me feel like that Liz is on something other than alcohol, allegedly. I'm not gonna put that out there, but I'm gonna put that out there. That's an intrusive thought. But that wraps up the end of the episode. It's like a to be continued episode. So this episode, I'm gonna give it an 8. I was here for it. I was here for the aftermath. I do not like that they got a little disrespectful at Audrey's, but I'm glad that Rosie separated herself from that. Kelsey, you can go, but thank you guys. If y'all stay all the way at the end, leave me a green heart in the comments. Drop down in the comments, have some Discord with me. Let me know what you're thinking. But that is my thoughts and opinions on Real Housewives of Rhode Island, season 1, episode 8 and episode 9. At some point, within the next 3 to 4 days, I will get you episode 10 and 11. I want to try to have it done by Monday so that I can get you the next episode that will be dropping on Sunday. But that is all that I have for you guys. And this is what Ms. O has said. Thank you guys. See you next time.